Next, let's take a look at the Black Bean Galley setup and how to use all the features that are back here. So starting off on the right-hand side, the Black Bean comes with the really nice 22-inch Cook Partner stove. So you have the yellow toggle down below to open that, to unlock that to come out, and to unlock it to go back in. You have the little butterfly clasp on the front of the stove. Put a little bit of pressure down just to get that to open up, because you have the wind guards down here that are putting a little pressure against that lid. And then you have the little fins that come out and lock in place to hold the stove up. You're gonna have 2 propane lines to hook this up. So right now I have them in here, but depends on where you want to store them. Your first one is gonna have the built-in regulator, and that's gonna go on the front of the trailer. So we'll run up there and hook this one up real quick. Now, Black Bean's gonna come with 1 propane tank standard. This one does have the optional 2nd propane tank. On this side, it is internally threaded, which means it's reverse threaded. So on the tank side, it's lefty-tighty. So spin that to the left, get that nice and snug. On the hose side, it does have an on-off switch. So to hook this up to the quick port, make sure that is off. Down below, you have your quick port right here in the center. And once you're hooked up, you can kick on your tank and you can open up that switch. So that's sending all of the propane to the back of the trailer at this point. If you have the heater, it's running straight into that. And then I'll show you where the quick ports are on the back side to hook up the stove. So we have another propane line. In this case, we have a high pressure port down here on the side. So it might be kind of hard to see underneath here, but we do have another on-off switch. It's on the trailer side this time. Turn it off to the side, pop that in. Inline is on, so flip that on. And then depending on which direction you have the stove facing, you'll have a port on the corner. So in this case, we're facing to the inside of the galley. This is just finger tight. Screw that down by hand. Don't use a wrench or pliers or anything like that on there. It's got an O-ring built in. So once you have that snug, that'll seal up really nice for you. We do have the propane line is long enough. So if you want to cook from the outside of the trailer, pop the clips on the front and the back here, or on the 2 sides of the stove. Flip that around and you can cook from this side. No built-in igniter. Make sure you carry lighter, matches, whatever you prefer in that case. And then tear down is super simple as well. Fold that back in, fold your wind guards in. We'll lock this up. Make sure you take your propane line off. And then underneath, you're gonna have 2 clips. Pop those, drop that back down, and same yellow clip to slide that back in. Another optional feature of the Black Bean, in this case, is the Discada. So on the Black Bean, if you opt to get the Discada option, you'll have the mount on the outside of the stove side here. You can see we have the 2 slots here, got the 2 ears. You're just gonna pop those in, set that on there, and it's also gonna come with a nice big cooking disc here. So this is going to run off of the 1-pound green propane tanks that you can get at any outdoor supply store, Walmart, whatever you prefer there. Or you can get online and get the adapter hose. So that'll go from the 1-pound connection that's underneath here that you can hook up to your 10-pound. You can take a 20-pound with you, and instead of throwing away those disposable green tanks. Pops off. Does store nicely inside of your drawers, so it gives you a good place to store that. You can also throw it up front in the front box, kind of whatever your preference is. On the Black Bean, you've got the nice big fridge. Again, yellow toggle here. So in this case, we have the Dometic 55, depending on which option you opt for in the back. This is a really nice fridge. You have an AC cord in here so that you can move this inside and plug it in. It's got a little ice tray underneath here. Tons of storage. Don't have to worry about using ice and stuff when you're out, which is really nice. Again, yellow toggle to slide that back in. Just like the other trailers, we have a 200-pound auxiliary hitch down below. So great for a little bike rack, cargo carrier, something like that. We have a little bit of under sink storage. If you opt for the heater, that does take up a fair amount of the space. but still leaves you enough room. You can store your water line for the shower if you get the shower. You can store those propane lines in there if you want to free up a drawer, kind of whatever you want to do with that space there. 3 drawers in the middle, so tons of good storage back here. We have the nice big Black Bean sink. So removable cutting board on this. You can move that over to the counter space to use that when you're prepping for dinner. For using the sink, your main water pump is going to be right here. So this water pump is going to run your sink and the shower if you get the shower option. Flip that on, blue light turns on to let you know that pump is running, and then from there you just utilize the toggle on the side of the faucet. This does move and rotate out of the way. You don't have to do that to travel or anything like that. All it is so you can get into your storage and pull things out in case that's in your way of getting in there. On these, we do have the newer post style latches. So with that, pull this out, rotate it down, and that will lock it in the open position. So that way when you're at camp, you don't have to unlock that every single time you want to get in and out of the trailer. All your pass-through storage up top here, so you can get to this from the back galley or from inside the trailer. This doesn't have it here, but we do have bins that come with this for those center 2 openings. It's going to be the same thing over here. More shelving and more bins in the center here. The shelves are removable, so if you have something bigger than this that you want to fit in there, you pop the 2 pins out of the top rail, pull that whole shelf out, and you can put your own divider rails, your bag luggage, whatever you want to store in there. We also have the metal plate on the wall. So the plate itself is not magnetic, but works really good with magnetic accessories such as like magnetic spice jars and stuff like that. We have the RGB lighting up top, so you can see illuminates things pretty nicely. You can pick whatever color you like off the spectrum here. Red and amber are great when you're in a buggy area because they do cut down on bugs. They don't attract them, so you're not attracting every bug within like the county mile. Up above, still got your fancy paper towel holder. And your main overhead lighting, you got 2, 1, and off is in the center. So that's a pretty good look at the Black Bean Galley.